all of these dots are noise. Well, how do we get rid of the noise? What is the goal? The goal of today's exercise is to, a lot of times we look for the symptoms. We would like to do something, but you have to go to the core. What triggers that? What starts you on that? You got to find your flow zone. You got to find out when you're productive, and you got to find out when you get tired and work around that.
Welcome to my legal academy, helping lawyers work smart, scale fast, and enjoy life.
As I shared, this was a big picture, but there's also a lot of noise. You see these little dots that are here all over. This is a good analogy. This is all, we're surrounded by all these noise, all these different tools that we get exposed to, different things, different advice, different people who talk about different things. There's this new AI tool, there's all that, but all of these dots are noise. Well, how do we get rid of the noise? And that leads us to the detox. All right, what is the goal? The goal of today's exercise is to provide you with an effective plan to identify, to minimize digital distractions. The whole point of today is to lessen all those things. These distractions are technological. Why? Because they hinder productivity and growth. A lot of times they're very helpful, but for the most part, they also hinder us from productivity and growth. By following this blueprint, you'll be equipped with the tools to create a balanced and sustainable relationship with technology, enabling you to focus more on strategic tasks that truly matter for your law firm's growth and success. Remember, the whole point of this entire program is to get you focused, delegate, eliminate, and automate everything else so that you can hone in on your desired zone and your genius zone, kind of where your genius power is. So the ultimate aim is to enhance your focus, boost productivity, improve work-life balance, and accelerate your law firm's growth by harnessing the power of undistracted attention. How do we do this? There's 3 parts. There's a self-assessment, what to do with this information about this assessment. Then third, we'll talk about other tactics, other ways to be able to further cut down on all that noise and distractions. First thing I'm going to do is we're going to list all the technology-related activities that consume your time during work hours. This includes, and I gave you guys a good list of examples: social media, emails, unnecessary web browsing, excessive notifications, non-work related YouTube or Netflix or phone calls or text messages, online shopping, games, entertainment, etc. So take a look at that list that I just gave you. And on the bottom on the sheet, you will see a list. So think about what are your biggest distractions. Go ahead and write them down under activities. And once you do that, also please put in the chat. Imran says emails and notifications. Valerie says, do we add work-related notifications and messages? Yes. Incoming text messages, Norma, good. Leon says non-urgent calls from clients. They think they are urgent. Perfect, Leon. Emails, phone calls, and texts from clients, good. Shelly, emails, client text messages, social media, good. Step number 2 is, on a scale of 1 to 5, rate the level of distraction each activity causes, with 5 being super distracting. It's like completely takes you away. 1 is not so much. Slack notifications and messages from Teams. Oh yeah. Online meetings, 5. Oh, meetings. Ooh, that's a good one. Meetings, that's a good one to add to the list. I'm gonna add that here actually. Intake team, 5. Email, 4. Teams, 3. New tech webinar. Perfect. Love it, Jason. It's very clear exactly what those things are. Next column, let's just estimate the amount of time you spend on each activity per day. How many minutes, how many hours that is usually. Give yourself some estimate. There we go. Email, 2 hours. Text, now an hour and a half. Daisy's just said, just added my 4 distractions that are wasting 4+ hours a day. Yep. And says training new people. Sabrina says, when I include meetings, it's way more than I think, total 6 hours plus. I understand why I'm having 10-hour+ days. Step number 4 is, on a scale of 1 to 5, rate each activity's relevance to your work. Okay. If it's really not relevant, it's a 5. But it's relevant, it's a 1. As you can see, higher scores are usually not good. So go ahead and for each activity, write how relevant is it to your work. Step number 5, don't skip this one, is reflect. Take a moment to reflect on your assessment. Do you notice any surprises or insights that came up during this exercise? Okay, remember the goal is not to judge, but to understand your current habits and how they're affecting your productivity. Okay, just take a moment. We're gonna be quiet for like a minute. Just look at it and let's meditate what we're looking at right now. Number one is this. Stacy's is number one. Hit the most emails. I agree with you. I can share with you. I went through this exercise and I realized I hated emails and I got myself away from emails. I am completely detoxed from emails. I probably spend on average maybe 45 minutes, definitely less than an hour for sure, in a week. So let's go to page 2, which is the unplug process. Okay, what we're gonna do is, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna rank them, just like how you're circled your most hated one. Now let's go rank them. We're gonna review the self-assessment of your top distractions on the last page. And you're gonna identify and list the top 3, the most distracting and the most least work-related activities below. Go ahead and rank them. Number 1, 2, 3. So the next 3 steps are like different levers, different angles. Okay, some of them we're gonna limit those hours. Some of them we're gonna schedule time that we're basically allocating to those hours. Some of those is we're creating boundaries for those. Okay, so there's different ways. That doesn't mean for all 3 you have to do something. You know, at least one of you're gonna take one step towards limiting, structuring, eliminating whatever those activity is. Okay, so what can we do? The first thing we can do is limit distractions. Okay, so for that activity, what type of time limit can you create? How many hours max per are you willing to give to yourself for that activity? That could be in different forms, per day, per week. For example, let's just say for me is meetings. Probably my number 1 least favorite thing to do. That one I'm willing to do maybe just 2 meetings per day, or maybe ideally, actually no, 0 meetings per day, and all my meetings ideally on just Monday. So that means my time limit is 0 on Tuesday through Friday, and then maybe 6 hours on Monday. Don't do it based on what's possible, do based on what you would like, what you're gonna strive towards. Another way, schedule tech-free time, allocate specific periods in your daily routine for a complete technology break. Okay, so for that one is what time are you allocating towards this potentially? It's one way to look at this. So for that distraction, how can you limit it to those specific parts in your week? Instead of just doing it continuously, you have it blocked off or dedicated towards that. Next one is we establish do not disturb hours or turn off notifications during non-working hours. Okay. All right, so let's do the focus mode little exercise. All right, so if you have an iPhone, and I've done this exercise a couple times and I think it's really crucial and it's so valuable, please take out your iPhone and go to settings. This is probably one of the most valuable settings that iPhones give you. Take advantage of it. If you go to settings, you'll see the 8th option right here is one called focus, right in the middle of the screen. It's called focus. Go ahead and click on that. And if you do, if you've followed me and you set this up, take a look and review it, and maybe we can even further optimize it. So what you want to do is the first one, do not disturb. This is the do not disturb kind of focus mode setting. You will see on the left side is people. Okay, all the people you can add as your exceptions. This fluctuates for me depending on who I'm currently training, onboarding. Once they kind of, they're hitting strides, then I remove them from notifications. Looks like I'll probably have to do a review of all those 28 people. I think that's too many people. And then there's certain apps. These are usually important apps like your bank, your reminders, or whatever that is, productivity apps, things that I don't mind getting notifications from. Okay, so you click on that, you select the apps. Just to give you an example, I have something for my HOA, I have my bank, I have Coinbase, I find my iPhone, some bank stuff, Fiverr, Google Calendar, Google Maps, different things that I don't mind getting notifications from. These are important for me to get notified, but everything else I don't want to get notified at all. And then right below people and apps, you have options. The first setting, I have it off. I don't want to show those things on my lock screen. Second, I want to dim the lock screen. So when I pick up my phone, it's dimmed and it doesn't show any notifications. And also hides the notification badges. So make sure to turn on the second and third setting for maximum productivity. Then if you scroll down, you have your schedule. If you already have something on, see if it's good. Are you happy with it? This could be changed. For me, it's 5 a.m. till 5 p.m. at this point on weekdays. I first started off with like 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Then I realized that I was getting texts that I didn't want to receive between 5 and 9. So I changed it to 5. I usually wake up at 5, about half the weekdays. So that's a good schedule. And there's also focus filters. That's like more exceptions, which I don't want to get into. So that is, and what's key here is actually the schedule part. A lot of people, rely on, when I don't want to get distracted, I'll turn on focus mode or do not disturb mode. That is a mistake. You want this to be automatically set for you. I think that's probably the best part why this works so well. Automatically, you don't even realize that you're like, all of a sudden it's like 12 o'clock. You're like, wait a minute, why didn't I get notified? It's because you had this automatically on. Literally on days when I don't have this on for whatever reason, it's just not the same. Try this, it works wonders.
Hey, hope you're enjoying the video so far. If you're a lawyer and you're looking to work smart, scale fast, and enjoy life, right below this video, you'll find a link to book a call to speak to my team so we can tell you how we've been able to help over 500 law firm owners scale their law firm. Now back to the video.
Go to step 3, the last page, is practical focus and productivity steps. Okay, first thing we can do, there's on the bottom, you'll have places for you to fill this out. Number 1 is to establish tech-free zones. Determine areas in your workspace or home that you will keep free of technology. This could be a particular room or specific desk. For example, I'll give you a good list: meeting room, break room, reading corner, meditation area, dining area, bedroom, specific desk or table. Where would you like to have this, like, kind of this free zone? Whenever you're here, whenever you step in here, you don't have any tech distracting you. Under my action steps, how can you implement a tech-free zone for yourself? And don't say it as you would like, say it as you are. That's key. Okay, say it. When I get to my bedroom, I don't do that. I don't bring in my phone to my bedroom. Not I won't. Don't. Say it as it is. Stacey, you want to share yours on audio?
I set up a second desk, an entire setup, computer, everything for myself, so I can walk away from my disaster of a desk and focus. And I just take 2 hours and nobody breathe on me. And my kitchen, that's my get out of my head zone. It's never even in there. It could ring 100 times in the other room. I'm not answering it.
Nice. Leslie says my home office to work. My bedroom is my safe zone. Very good, Leslie. Danny says I have an old home and I channel my power in the living room in front of the old fireplace, a place of Zen power, yoga posters, and electronics, good candles, and inspiring wall art. Amazing, Danny. That is fantastic. I've done this. This one was, I wanted to wake up. I wanted to build the habit of waking up at 5 in the morning. And I realized it wasn't about waking up early. It was about sleeping early. And then I realized it wasn't about sleeping early. It's about what do I do to be able to sleep early. And I realized it was my phone. So I implemented this, basically leaving my phone on my desk and then going to bed. And that started the momentum for me to be able to sleep early, so I could fall asleep, so I could wake up early. It was that. A lot of times we look for the symptoms. We would like to do something, but you have to go to the core. What triggers that? What starts you on that? Okay, there's another way. This is a really good one. A lot of people don't do this. Is set clear working hours. Set clear working hours to avoid work-life blur. Who feels me on this? Where everything's just one big mesh of just work life. There's no cutoff. I learned this from my mentor. When he gets home, he puts his phone by the charger, and you cannot call him. There's no way to get to him. So he has a complete black or white work to non-work hours set. Let's go through this. Establish and stick to a work schedule. Be firm about when you're available for calls or meetings and when you need focus uninterrupted work time. Create your own ideal work schedule, okay? We create our own hours. That's the whole point of us being our own business owners. And so let's create our own schedule. And nobody says it has to be from 9 to 5. This whole 9 to 5 thing drives me insane. Why? Who says it has to be 9 to 5? You got to find your flow zone. You got to find out when you're productive, and you got to find out when you get tired and work around that. There's different themes for different days of the week. So see if you can create those themes. You can have up to 2 themes per day and kind of structure it. So it's not all one big mesh. There's a theme towards it. You know, when you batch it, then you're able to kind of, your mind isn't all over. It's like, oh, it's my team meetings day. I only have to, you know, dedicate Mondays for that. I need one day to myself. So that one day is completely blocked off for you. Fridays is dedicated to my finances and planning. That way you're not, you know, you're structured. Next, productivity tools. Use tools or apps that help you stay organized and focused. And we're going to share our favorite one, and hopefully somebody who doesn't know about any of these apps can go and install these and start using these. For example, Google Calendar, Todoist, my favorite one by far. Evernote, I use Evernote. Notion, a lot of people love Notion. Or project management tools like Monday, Trello, Asana. Doesn't matter which one. Everyone's like looking for the best one. Best one, it doesn't matter. It's about the fact that you use one of them. Or Forest, which is kind of like a Pandora time blocking where you work for 35 minutes or whatever, kind of sprints, and then you take a break. Or Freedom, which we brought about a couple of months ago, which is blocking out. Freedom lets you block out specific websites. If you don't want to go on Facebook, then you can use Freedom to be able to do that. Quickly share. This is a very quick rundown of the second brain. Now, I mentioned this book. If you want the gist of it, here it is on the screen. Second Brain is a book that basically helps you create a second brain, basically using one of these productivity tools to be able to have a repertoire of all your notes, different things. For many years, I tried to figure out which one is best, Notion or Evernote or this, Obsidian. And I realized that everybody's different. And it comes down to what type of brain you have. So let me just share this with you. So there's 4 types. There's the librarian. Librarians enjoy collecting notes and building a catalog of useful resources. They benefit from a notes app that provides a straightforward structure and allows for easy retrieval of their notes to support their projects and goals. The best tool for that is Evernote. If you love collecting notes, kind of like very textual kind of brain, that's Evernote. Then there's the architect. Architects enjoy planning and designing and creating their own processes. It's kind of like I would say like a Mike Smith, I would assume is the notion. They benefit from a notes app that allows them to easily build their own structure, customize it, and bring their ideas to life. That's a Notion app. Then there's the Gartner. The Gartners enjoy exploring their thoughts and connecting ideas. They benefit from a notes app with a bottoms-up approach where ideas and connections can emerge organically. These apps will make it easy to link notes together. It's kind of like a visual kind of putting the pieces together. I just have to put it all out there and then see what's going on. And then there's the student. The student doesn't have a strong preference for any of these archetypes. Their notes serve a clear purpose that's often based on a short-term priority, e.g. writing a paper or passing a test with the goal of getting it done as simply as, these are like the stick and note people. Okay, so based on that, which one are you? And then the second part of the second brain is kind of how to categorize your notes. Just a quick little rundown. There's 4 parts. It's kind of like the gist of the entire book is these 2 concepts. The first part is projects. These are any outcomes that you're actively committed that requires multiple sessions to complete. These are basically your current projects, current things that you're working on. But they have very clear goals and they have an end. They're important and actionable right now. These are things that you're basically working on right now. Then there's areas. These are ongoing roles or responsibilities that are never completed. They're important and relevant on an ongoing basis. These are just things you save. It's not like immediate right now, but you're like things that you need to be able to get you to do your projects. And there's resources. These are any topics or of ongoing interests. These are just inspiration for future projects. I'm trying to figure out a way. Right now, I'm kind of calling, all these different things. And then in the future, I might open this up, searchable way to be able to pull out any of these notes. Hopefully ideally in the future, I have some plans, but right now I'm kind of like building it up right now. And the reason why I'm building it up right now is because I know Evernote is going to open up its AI infrastructure in the next 6 to 12 months. So I want to feed my second brain everything that I know. And then I could say, give me insights about things that I could do, or, you know, help me do this based on the notes. And then there's archives, which are inactive items from projects, areas, and resources. It's a cold storage in case you need to access them in the future. Do not delete anything, always save everything, save them as an archive. So these are pretty much how you save your notes. So I think that is a pretty gist of the top productivity tools. Get one of those based on the type of person you are. Have it on your computer, have it on your phone, and start building that up. Next, we're going to prioritize tasks. Okay, implement a system to prioritize your daily tasks. Okay, this is, if you have the right app, this will help you with it. So for me, Todoist is my way of prioritizing. Yes, I have a bunch of stuff, but I have the red stuff. That is basically my top prioritized stuff that I need to get done that day. So find a way to prioritize, whatever. There's different ways to go about it. Even starting off in the morning, the first 5 minutes is to look at what you have to do and writing down, this is my focus. Or your Google Calendar, you schedule, you prioritize with those important things in the beginning of the day. And invest in self-care. A lot of people skip over this. Okay, regular physical activity, a healthy diet, sufficient sleep, and mindfulness practices can significantly improve your ability to focus and be productive